What happens when one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses sits down for what should be a simple morning interview, only to face a barrage of disrespectful questions that cross every line imaginable? It only took 47 seconds after Jennifer Lawrence mentioned her latest film project for the entire interview to spiral into complete chaos, ending with the Oscar winner walking off set while cameras were still rolling. The studio lights were bright that morning as Jennifer Lawrence walked onto the familiar orange couch, smiling and waving to the studio audience. She looked radiant in a simple black dress, her blonde hair pulled back in a casual ponytail. The audience erupted in applause as she took her seat between Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb. "Jennifer, welcome back to the show," Savannah said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "It's been a while since we've had you here." "Thanks for having me," Jennifer replied warmly. "I'm excited to talk about the new film." Hoda leaned in with genuine enthusiasm. "We loved the trailer. It looks incredible. You play a journalist investigating corporate corruption, right?" "Yes, exactly," Jennifer said, her face lighting up. "It's a really important story about people who risk everything to expose the truth. We spent months researching real investigative journalists and their experiences." Savannah cut in sharply. "Speaking of truth, let's talk about something our viewers are really curious about. There have been rumors about your personal life, your relationships. Care to address those?" Jennifer's smile faltered slightly. "I'm here to talk about the film, Savannah." "But our audience wants to know about you, the real you," Savannah pressed, leaning forward with an intensity that seemed to make even Hoda uncomfortable. "You've been very private lately. Are you hiding something?" Al Roker, standing nearby with his weather charts, shifted awkwardly. The studio audience had gone quiet. "I'm not hiding anything," Jennifer said, her voice remaining calm but firm. "I just prefer to keep my private life private. I thought we were going to discuss the movie." Savannah laughed, but it sounded forced. "Come on, Jennifer. You're a public figure. You can't expect people not to be curious. There are photos of you with someone new. Who is he? How serious is it?" "Again, I'm here to promote the film," Jennifer repeated, her jaw tightening. "Can we talk about that?" Hoda jumped in, trying to redirect. "Jennifer, tell us about working with the director. I heard he's known for being very detail-oriented." "He is," Jennifer said, grateful for the shift. "We did so many takes of certain scenes to get them just right. There's this one sequence where my character is confronting a CEO in his office, and we must have done it 20 times to capture all the nuances." "Sounds exhausting," Savannah interrupted again. "But then again, you're used to exhausting work, aren't you? All those late nights on set, away from home. Must be hard on relationships. Is that why your last one ended?" The studio went dead silent. Even Carson Daly, who had been looking at his phone off to the side, looked up sharply. Jennifer's eyes widened. "Excuse me?" "Your last relationship," Savannah continued, undeterred. "It ended pretty abruptly. Was it the work schedule, or was there something else?" "Savannah, I don't think that's appropriate," Hoda said quietly, placing a hand on her co-host's arm. Savannah shrugged off the gesture. "I'm just asking what everyone wants to know." Jennifer took a deep breath. "What everyone wants to know is about the film I made. The film that took a year of my life. The film that tells an important story. Not about my personal relationships, which have nothing to do with anyone but me." "But you're a role model," Savannah shot back. "Young girls look up to you. Don't you think they deserve to know who you really are?" "They know who I am through my work," Jennifer said, her voice rising slightly. "Through the characters I play and the stories I choose to tell. They don't need to know who I'm dating or why a relationship ended." Al Roker stepped closer to the couch. "Hey, maybe we should take a quick break." "We're fine, Al," Savannah said dismissively, not taking her eyes off Jennifer. "Jennifer, you've talked about privacy before, but you also post on social media. You share photos, you comment on things. Isn't that contradictory?" "There's a difference between choosing what to share and being interrogated about my private life on live television," Jennifer replied, her voice steady, but her hands gripping the armrest. Interrogated? Savannah laughed again. I'm just having a conversation. No, you're being invasive, Jennifer said firmly, and disrespectful. Hoda's eyes went wide. Carson had now moved closer to the couch area, sensing the tension. Disrespectful? Savannah's voice took on an edge. I'm doing my job. I'm asking questions our viewers care about. Your viewers care about gossip, Jennifer said. I came here to talk about a meaningful project. About a film that shines a light on corruption and the journalists who fight it. Instead, you're asking me about my dating life, like this is some tabloid interview. This is the Today Show, Savannah said, her voice cold. We cover everything. News, entertainment, lifestyle. And yes, when a major star like you sits on this couch, people want to know about all aspects of your life. Then maybe you should have told me that before I agreed to come on, Jennifer countered. Because I was told this was going to be about the film. Things change, Savannah said with a shrug. Interviews evolve. Good guests roll with it. Good hosts respect their guests, Jennifer fired back. The tension was palpable now. The camera operators didn't know where to point their cameras. The studio audience was completely silent, watching the exchange like a tennis match. Hoda tried once more. Jennifer, why don't you tell us about the stunt work in the film? I heard you did a lot of your own stunts. I did, Jennifer said, not breaking eye contact with Savannah. There's a chase sequence through a parking garage that took 3 days to film. It was challenging, but rewarding. Must be nice to have all that time, Savannah interjected. Some of us have to work every single day. Early mornings, no breaks. We don't get months off between projects. Jennifer's mouth fell open. Are you seriously comparing your job to mine right now? I'm just saying, actors have it pretty easy, Savannah said. You work for a few months, make millions, then take time off. Meanwhile, people like us are here every single morning at 4:30, doing the real work. Carson looked shocked. Al Roker actually said, Savannah, come on. The real work? Jennifer repeated, her voice incredulous. You think acting isn't real work? I think it's pretend, Savannah said with a smirk. You pretend to be other people. We deal with actual news, actual events, actual information that matters to people's lives. This film is about actual events, Jennifer said, her voice rising. It's based on a true story about real journalists who exposed a real corporation that was poisoning people. That matters to people's lives. But you're still just playing pretend, Savannah insisted. You're not actually doing the journalism. You're not actually taking the risks. And you're not actually being a decent interviewer right now, Jennifer shot back. You're being rude, condescending, and completely unprofessional. The studio gasped. Hoda looked like she wanted to disappear into the couch. Savannah's face flushed red. Unprofessional? I'm unprofessional? You're the one who can't handle a few simple questions. Simple questions? Jennifer stood up, yanking off her microphone. You've spent the last 10 minutes attacking me, dismissing my work, and prying into my personal life. That's not journalism, that's harassment. Sit down, Savannah commanded. We're not done here. Yes, we are, Jennifer said firmly. I'm done being disrespected on your show. You signed on for a full segment, Savannah said, her voice sharp. You have a contract. Sue me, Jennifer replied. Carson stepped forward. Jennifer, maybe we can just reset. Start fresh. There's no resetting this, Jennifer said, looking at Carson. She's been hostile from the moment I sat down. I don't know what her problem is, but I'm not staying here to be her punching bag. My problem? Savannah stood up now too. My problem is entitled celebrities who think they can come on our show and dictate what we talk about. This is our show, not yours. Then you can have it, Jennifer said. Enjoy talking to yourself. Hoda stood up, reaching for Jennifer's arm. Jennifer, please. I'm so sorry about this. This isn't how we normally do things. Jennifer's expression softened slightly as she looked at Hoda. I know, Hoda. You've been nothing but kind, but I can't stay here and let her treat me like this. Treat you like what? Savannah demanded. Like a normal person who has to answer questions? You're not special, Jennifer. You're not above this. I never said I was special, Jennifer said, her voice shaking slightly with anger. But I deserve basic respect. Every guest deserves that, and you've shown me none. Al Roker moved between them. Okay, let's everyone take a breath here. I'm perfectly calm, Savannah said icily. Jennifer is the one making a scene. Making a scene? Jennifer's voice went up an octave. You've been attacking me for the past 15 minutes, and I'm making a scene? I've been doing my job, Savannah insisted. Your job is to make guests feel comfortable and have meaningful conversations, Jennifer said. Not to ambush them with personal questions and then insult their profession. If you can't handle tough questions, maybe you shouldn't do interviews, Savannah retorted. Tough questions are fine, Jennifer said, but there's a difference between tough and mean. You've been mean, Savannah. Deliberately mean. I've been honest, Savannah said. Maybe you're just not used to people being honest with you. Maybe everyone around you just tells you what you want to hear. Jennifer shook her head in disbelief. You don't know anything about me or my life. You don't know the people around me. You're making assumptions based on nothing. I know what I see, Savannah said. I see a celebrity who can't handle a normal interview without falling apart. Falling apart? Jennifer's laugh was bitter. I'm standing up for myself. That's not falling apart. That's called having self-respect. It's called being difficult, Savannah countered. Difficult? Jennifer repeated. I answered every question about the film. I tried multiple times to redirect this conversation back to the actual reason I'm here. The only person being difficult is you. You refuse to answer my questions, Savannah accused. I refuse to answer inappropriate questions about my personal life, Jennifer clarified. There's a difference. If you asked me about the film's budget and I refused to answer, that would be difficult. If you asked me about my preparation process and I shut you down, that would be difficult. But asking me about my dating life when I'm here to promote a film, that's you being difficult. Savannah's nostrils flared. Our viewers have a right to know about the people they watch on screen. They have a right to know about my work, Jennifer countered. They have a right to hear about the projects I choose, the characters I play, the messages I want to convey through my art. They don't have a right to know who I'm sleeping with or why my last relationship ended. That's private. Nothing is private when you're famous, Savannah said smugly. That's where you're wrong, Jennifer said firmly. Fame doesn't erase my right to privacy. Success doesn't mean I have to share every detail of my life. I'm allowed to have boundaries, just like anyone else. Then maybe you shouldn't be famous, Savannah shot back. The studio gasped collectively. Even the camera operators looked shocked. Excuse me? Jennifer's voice was dangerously quiet. If you can't handle the scrutiny that comes with fame, maybe you shouldn't be in this business, Savannah elaborated. The scrutiny that comes with fame should be about my work, Jennifer said. About my performances, my choices and roles, my behavior in public. Not about my private relationships or personal decisions that affect no one but me. Everything you do affects your fans, Savannah insisted. How does who I date affect my fans? Jennifer challenged. How does that impact their lives in any meaningful way? Savannah hesitated, clearly not expecting the question. It doesn't, Jennifer continued. My fans care about the movies I make. They care about the characters I bring to life. They care about the stories I help tell. That's what matters. That's what should matter to you too. I care about the truth, Savannah said. The truth about what? Jennifer demanded. The truth about a film that exposes corporate corruption? Or the truth about who I went to dinner with last week? Which one actually matters, Savannah? Hoda had tears in her eyes now. Savannah, please stop. This has gone too far. Stay out of this, Hoda, Savannah snapped. Don't talk to her like that, Jennifer said immediately. She's been trying to help. She's been trying to salvage this disaster of an interview that you created. I created? Savannah's voice was shrill now. You're the one who wouldn't answer simple questions. They weren't simple, and you know it, Jennifer said. You were digging for dirt. You were trying to make me uncomfortable. You wanted me to squirm. I wanted you to be real, Savannah said. I am real, Jennifer said, her voice breaking slightly. I'm a real person with real feelings, and you've spent this entire interview trying to hurt those feelings. Why? What did I ever do to you? Savannah's face was hard. Nothing. I don't even think about you. Clearly you do, Jennifer said, because you've made this personal. This stopped being about the interview 5 minutes in. This became about you trying to tear me down. Oh, please, Savannah rolled her eyes. Not everything is about you. You made it about me, Jennifer insisted. You made it about my relationships, my choices, my life. You dismissed my work. You insulted my profession. You've been nothing but hostile. Carson tried again. Ladies, we're on live television. Maybe we should. I don't care, Savannah cut him off. If Jennifer wants to walk off, let her walk off. It'll just prove my point. What point? Jennifer demanded. That you're a bully? Because that's the only point being proven here. The audience gasped again at the word bully. Savannah's eyes flashed. How dare you? I've been in this business for over 20 years. I've interviewed presidents, world leaders, Nobel Prize winners. And you, some actress, are calling me a bully? Yes, Jennifer said without hesitation. Because that's what you're being. You're using your position, your platform, to attack someone who came here in good faith. That's bullying. Get off my show, Savannah said, her voice low and dangerous. Your show? Jennifer's eyebrows shot up. Last I checked, this was NBC's show. You're just the host. Savannah's face went even redder. Don't get smart with me. I'm not getting smart, Jennifer said. I'm pointing out that you don't own this show. You're an employee, just like everyone else here. I've been the anchor of this show for years, Savannah said, through gritted teeth. I've built this program into what it is. And what is it right now? Jennifer asked. A platform for you to attack your guests? Is that what you've built? Hoda stood up, her voice shaking. Savannah, please. This needs to stop. Right now. Hoda, sit down, Savannah ordered. No, Hoda said, her voice stronger now. I won't sit down and watch you treat a guest this way. This is wrong, Savannah. You know it's wrong. Don't you dare side with her over me, Savannah said, pointing at Hoda. I'm not siding with anyone, Hoda said. I'm siding with common decency, with respect, with the values this show is supposed to represent. Al stepped closer to the couch. Hoda's right. This has gone way too far. Savannah spun on him. Oh, so now everyone's against me? No one's against you, Al said calmly. But we are against what you're doing right now. I'm doing my job, Savannah insisted again. Your job is to make guests feel welcome, Carson chimed in from his position, to have enlightening conversations, to inform our viewers. This isn't any of those things. Savannah looked around at her co-hosts, something wild in her eyes. So you all think I'm wrong? All of you? We think you should apologize to Jennifer, Hoda said softly. And we should start this interview over. I'm not apologizing, Savannah said flatly. I did nothing wrong. Jennifer shook her head slowly. That's the saddest part of this whole thing. You genuinely don't see what you did wrong. Enlighten me then, Savannah challenged, crossing her arms. You ambushed a guest, Jennifer said. You ignored her boundaries. You dismissed her work. You made personal attacks. You compared your job to hers in a way that diminished both. You've been condescending, rude, and hostile. And now, When your own colleagues are telling you that you've crossed a line, you can't even consider that maybe, just maybe, they're right. They're not right, Savannah said stubbornly. How do you know? Jennifer asked. Have you listened to a single word anyone has said in the last 5 minutes? Or are you so convinced of your own righteousness that you can't even hear feedback? I don't need feedback from you, Savannah snapped. Clearly you don't take feedback from anyone, Jennifer observed. Is that why you're standing here alone right now? Is that why your own co-hosts are horrified by your behavior? Savannah looked at Hoda, then Al, then Carson. Each of them looked away, unable to meet her eyes. Fine, Savannah said. Everyone wants to protect the precious celebrity. Go ahead, baby her. Tell her she's special. No one's asking you to baby me, Jennifer said quietly. We're asking you to treat me like a human being. Is that really too much to ask? Happily, Jennifer replied to Savannah's earlier demand to get off the show. Savannah, you can't just kick her off, Al said, looking alarmed. I just did, Savannah said. Security, please escort Miss Lawrence out of the building. You can't be serious, Hoda said, her voice barely a whisper. I'm completely serious, Savannah said. She called me a bully on live television. She's disrupted our show. She needs to leave. Jennifer laughed, but there was no humor in it. Unbelievable. You spend 20 minutes insulting me, and I'm the one being escorted out. You're the one who's out of control, Savannah said. I'm out of control? Jennifer's voice was loud now. I've been sitting here taking your abuse, trying to steer this back to the film, and I'm out of control? You're delusional. And you're done, Savannah said flatly. Get her out of here. 2 security guards appeared at the edge of the set, looking extremely uncomfortable. Jennifer held up her hand. Don't worry, I'm leaving. I don't need an escort. I can walk out on my own. She turned to Hoda. Hoda, I'm sorry you had to witness this. You deserve better than this. Hoda had tears streaming down her face now. Jennifer, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It's not your fault, Jennifer said gently. You tried to help. She looked at Al and Carson. Thank you both for trying to keep the peace. Then she turned back to Savannah one last time. I hope whatever you're going through that made you act this way, I hope you work through it. Because this wasn't about me. This was about something going on with you. Don't psychoanalyze me, Savannah hissed. I'm not, Jennifer said. I'm just stating a fact. Happy, secure people don't treat guests like you treated me today. They just don't. With that, Jennifer turned and walked off the set. The studio audience sat in stunned silence. Cameras followed her as she made her way past the crew, past the producers who were frantically talking into their headsets, past the green room, and toward the exit. Behind her, she could hear chaos erupting on set. Hoda was crying openly now. Al was saying something in a raised voice. Carson was trying to calm everyone down. And Savannah was yelling, We're still on air. Someone cut to commercial. Cut to commercial right now. But they didn't cut fast enough. The cameras caught it all. They caught Hoda standing up and walking off the set too. They caught Al shaking his head in disgust. They caught Carson saying, This is insane. And they caught Savannah, standing alone on the set she ruled with an iron fist, realizing that her behavior had just been broadcast to millions of viewers across the country. Jennifer pushed through the exit doors and stepped out into the cool morning air. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was pounding. But she held her head high. Behind her, she could hear someone running. She turned to see one of the producers, a young woman with a clipboard, rushing toward her. Jennifer, wait, the producer called out, slightly out of breath. Jennifer stopped, waiting. The producer reached her, looking distressed. I am so sorry. That should never have happened. That was completely unprofessional and unacceptable. It was, Jennifer agreed. We had a completely different rundown, the producer continued. We were supposed to talk about the film, about your preparation for the role, about the themes of the story. I don't know what happened. Savannah went completely off script. She did more than go off script, Jennifer said. She was deliberately cruel. The producer nodded, tears in her own eyes now. I know. The whole crew knows. We're all horrified. This isn't what the Today Show is supposed to be. Then maybe you should tell that to Savannah, Jennifer said. Trust me, people will, the producer said. The phones are already ringing off the hook. Social media is exploding. This is a disaster. For her, maybe, Jennifer said. I'll be fine. I know who I am. I know I didn't do anything wrong. You didn't, the producer confirmed. You were gracious and patient, and she attacked you for no reason. Everyone saw it. Jennifer took a deep breath. I need to go. Of course, the producer said. Again, I'm so sorry. And for what it's worth, I can't wait to see your film. It looks amazing. Jennifer managed a small smile. Thank you. That means a lot. She walked toward the waiting car, leaving the chaos of the Today Show behind her. As she slid into the back seat, her phone started buzzing with messages. Texts from friends, from her publicist, from fellow actors who had apparently been watching. She ignored them all for now. She leaned her head back against the seat and closed her eyes. The driver glanced at her in the rearview mirror. Rough morning? Jennifer opened her eyes and met his gaze. You could say that. I saw some of it on the monitor in the security booth, the driver said. That host was way out of line. She was, Jennifer agreed. For what it's worth, the driver continued, you handled yourself really well. You stayed classy even when she didn't. I tried, Jennifer said. You succeeded, the driver said firmly. My daughter is a huge fan of yours. She's going to be even. More of a fan after seeing how you stood up for yourself today. Jennifer felt tears prick her eyes. Tell your daughter thank you, and tell her to always stand up for herself, no matter who's trying to push her around. I will, the driver promised. As the car pulled away from the building, Jennifer looked back one last time at the NBC studios. Somewhere in there, Savannah Guthrie was dealing with the fallout of her behavior. Somewhere in there, producers were scrambling to figure out how to handle the biggest on-air disaster the show had seen in years. But Jennifer wasn't thinking about any of that. She was thinking about the film she had made, the story she had helped tell, the character she had brought to life. That was what mattered. That was what would last. Not this interview, not Savannah's insults, not the drama or the conflict or the tension. The work mattered. The art mattered. The stories mattered. And no hostile interviewer could take that away from her. Back in Down, the studio, the commercial break was ending. When the cameras came back on, Savannah was sitting alone at the desk. Hoda had not returned. Al was back at his weather wall, his usual cheerful demeanor notably absent. Carson was nowhere to be seen. Savannah looked into the camera, her expression neutral. We're back. That was actress Jennifer Lawrence, who had to leave us a bit early. Coming up after the break, we'll have a cooking segment with our favorite chef. Her voice was steady, professional, but anyone watching closely could see the tension in her jaw, the tightness around her eyes, the way her hands gripped the desk a little too hard. The cracks were showing, and millions of people had just watched them form. In the control room, the executive producer was on the phone with corporate. The conversation was not going well. On social media, clips from the interview were already going viral. Comments poured in by the thousands. The overwhelming majority supported Jennifer. They called out Savannah's behavior. They demanded accountability. And in her car, driving away from it all, Jennifer Lawrence allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. She had stood her ground. She had refused to be diminished. She had walked away with her dignity intact. The film would come out in a few weeks. It would be successful. Critics would praise it. Audiences would love it. And when people asked about the Today Show interview, she would simply say that sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. Because that's what her character in the film would have done. That's what all the real journalists she had studied would have done. You don't back down from bullies. You don't let them win. You stand tall, you speak your truth, and you walk away knowing you did the right thing. And that's exactly what Jennifer Lawrence did.